Hello, I'm Sylvia Tate. Welcome to my video. Have you ever noticed that some people can fall off the wagon for a week, eat whatever they want, and somehow their weight resets effortlessly? While other people, perhaps you, can eat perfectly for weeks and the scale barely moves or maybe even moves up. It is because it's not about food, it's not about the willpower, but it's about the identity. So here is the truth that most diets don't talk about. You will always act in alignment with how you see yourself, not who you want to be, not who you should be, but who you identify as deep down. So if at the identity level, you see yourself as an overweight one, somebody who's always struggled, or saying to yourself, I'm just not one of those lucky slim people, then every diet literally feels like a punishment, feels like a struggle, and this basically weight loss journey is just so hard. Every setback acts as a proof that you are right. So what's the difference between a person who identifies I'm a dieter versus I'm a healthy woman? Let me give you an example. If you identify yourself as a dieter, the questions you ask yourself subconsciously would be, for example, can I eat this? Is this allowed? How long do I have to do this for? If you identify yourself as a healthy woman, the questions would be entirely different. Does this fuel me? How will this make me feel? Same food, but different behaviors, and therefore different results. For most of my life, I identified as a fat one. Just to give you an idea, at the age of 7, I was 20 kilograms heavier than I am now at the age of 47. I've tried everything. Diet, plans, programs, you name it, I've done it. And even when I lost weight, I would always gain the weight back. And even when I lost weight, I would always see myself as the fat one. So guess what happened? My body would always find a way back to who I was seeing myself as a fatty. That's the truth. So the real shift happened not when I found another program, a better program, but when I readjusted, redefined my identity. And it happened when I became a mom, because I realized I don't want my daughter to see me struggling the way I was struggling, to inherit my story, to inherit my bad habits, my broken relationship with food. So instead of telling myself I'm trying to lose weight, I said to myself, I'm a healthy woman, and started to take the actions in alignment with the healthy woman identity. So I started to see myself as I'm a healthy woman. I'm a woman who looks after her body. I'm a woman who moves her body daily because that's who she is. It doesn't matter if it rains, if it's hot, if it's cold, if it snows. I go out and I exercise because that's now in my nervous system. And you know what? Once that happened, not the exercise, the way I was perceiving myself, the weight just followed. Here's another layer, our beliefs. Our beliefs are just thoughts that we repeat often enough that they feel like facts. Examples: my metabolism is broken. It's my hormones. I always self-sabotage. Nothing works for me. So if you believe these things, your subconscious will always try to prove them right. Not because they're true, but because your nervous system will act in alignment with your identity. So that's why forcing motivation never lasts. You can't out-motivate an identity you haven't upgraded. So how do we start changing this? You can't just positive think your way out. You can't fake it. You have to start with small identity-based actions. So instead of saying, I'm trying to lose weight, say, I'm becoming someone who looks after her body. Instead of I failed again, you just say that was a moment. It wasn't really me. And the more you keep that promise to yourself, the more you anchor your new identity. Because new identities are built by repetition. It's not that complicated, really. So if you feel you've been stuck for years and you tried everything and nothing works, please hear this. You're not broken. You're not lacking discipline. You don't need another diet. You just need an identity shift. Because the moment you stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with weight and start seeing yourself as someone who is full of energy and a healthy woman, your choices change, your behaviors change, and the results follow. So if this resonated with you, please put it in the comments, or perhaps just share it with a woman who you feel needs to hear this today. Thank you for listening. Bye.